Hi everyone, welcome to another video. I know I have a lot to catch up, so I thought I'll just do an update on whatever that is left after the move, after all the root rot and stem rot issues where I lost most of my Hoyas and orchids. Yeah, it's most. I actually have to accept defeat. uh, Sorry for the delay when it comes to the videos because there have been too many changes in my life, so it has been somewhat overwhelming, but let's get to the video at hand. And this and the top and the bottom are what's left of all my Hoyas and orchids. There are some on the guava tree, hanging on the guava tree, and those are the tessellatus and Acampia rigida, the genuses of vandas that I own. So before you think what has happened, I'll tell you this. I actually left most of my orchids which were heavy to carry with my neighbors. I'm not gonna collect them, so I have given them away. And now from whatever I had left, there's a reason that I kept this Hoya to show you what exactly happened to all of my Hoyas. This is how it was. There was a stem rot in some and there was a root rot in others. This one I tried so desperately to save and repotted this. That's why it's looking so settled. But I normally use 10-52-10. I didn't use for such a long time, over 4-5 months now. So mainly because I was using organic fertilizer which I made myself, and I couldn't use it here because that was too much smelling. There are a lot of houses around me here, so because of that I couldn't do that. So whatever that was converted into inorganic media with just the top layer being moss, it's doing fine. This is my Hoya lacunosa. It's blooming. It's a prolific bloomer. You can see how beautiful the shades get when facing the sunlight, and it's actually quite intoxicating. And these are filled with ants. I hope you can get a focus look on the pinnacle blooming. Okay, and I'll show you one more thing. It's blooming. See, the pinnacles have not opened up. There are two pinnacles on top. They are about to bloom. So those pinnacles are new and the blooming is new. Even in my acuta, there's a huge pinnacle which bloomed a few times. I'm sorry I couldn't catch it. The pinnacle right over there, I'll point it out for you guys. So they have started blooming mainly because I neglected fertilizing. That triggered the heavy duty specimens I have, and these are the only falls I have now. All others developed a crown rot. I have no idea how, and I have a suspicion that it's thrips too, but I didn't find any, right? Thrips being such tiny creatures. how this leaf is affected of this fowl. I definitely know there is a mite or thrips attack, and the others are going on well. Although these are losing leaves, they are throwing out new leaves. So the move definitely made them, a bit disheveled, but they are bouncing back because they actually can bounce back. So this Hoya, I will be removing it. I will definitely remove it, and I'll just throw it away and start new. There's nothing that I can salvage out of these vines. And what I just sprayed was a 10-52-10. So my sprayer has that in, and it's the grow more fertilizer that I use, and this does not have anything else other than the 10-52-10. No seaweed extracts, no Mega Thrive, nothing. Normally you are supposed to spray Mega Thrive individually and not mix, but some people mix it all together, whatever, like we mix seaweed with the normal fertilizer. But I didn't do it because I just want it to be concentrating and on, getting better and thriving once more. So to show you, I have some cattleyas potted up now. That's just to fill in the gaps because I am having so many empty pots. If I show you here, right, crown rot and crown rot and like that, it kept, being affected and dying off. I'll start with an update on the restarted Hoya, and it's doing okay, but still it needed some high phosphorus, so today I just sprayed it. That's it, what you see on top of the leaves, just like I showed you spraying, and let's see how they recover. So the glabrous schlechter, throwing off new big vines. I actually need to do a revamp video on this where I will explain Dee. That's Dee Marie from New York. I have a request from her. Dee, I'm sorry I'm taking such a long time. I have this perfect specimen to show you that what to do when you are dealing with long tendrils out of nowhere. Okay, so I'll do a video and I'll film it right now and I'll quickly update it, so you can use it if you still have not done the retrellising. I'm seriously sorry, life is getting caught up, so I am unable to keep up with my own plans, let alone viewers' requests. I'll show you my undulator, guys. If the camera focuses, see how this is gonna bloom now, right? Oh no, this is actually a Caldata Sumatra. I'm sorry guys, the leaves are so long, so I actually mistake it for an undulator. This panicle is kind of, yellowing. I don't know if it's how it looks, but it looks to me like it's on its way out. That's how the Hoyas would be. They will throw out new panicles, but at the same time they will dry off also if the vine keeps on growing, because the nutrition will be pulled on mainly towards the leaves. So if you do not pump in a lot of nutrition at that time, your Hoya might suffer here and there. When it comes to panicles, we normally do not care much about panicles because they pop out of nowhere, they surprise us, and in some Hoyas they are in abundance, like my Hoya Sunrise, by the way guys, which is no more. So that huge, the biggest specimen I had, that's no more. It's gone, totally done and dusted. I repotted it, I did cut it, and I restarted it. Nothing helped it. So all this time, which I did not do a video, that's what I was doing. I was restarting my plants to see what would happen. Okay, coming back to the Kolata Sumatra. This is in total cocoa peat, which is thriving for this, and it's throwing off new leaves. This is a new leaf which has hardened up now, and yes, I have started this also. You know, the huge specimen I had, it's no more. That's how it is. So one thing, my Hoyas were very old. They were like old vines. You saw how long the vine of this Hoya carrier was. It was twice the size of, you know, the length that you saw, because I had it, you know, in I had it folded just to film it. So most of them are doing well. If I go down, these are doing well and they are throwing off panicles, and these are full. But you know how my specimens were? They were bigger than this. My Hoya carrier, the Jurassic looking Hoya, Hoya Finlaysonia, which is this. Hoya Finlaysonia, you guys know that. I only had one Finlaysonia, and this is how it is now. So the smaller specimens are actually doing good. They are doing well, nothing, no problem. And my Hoya Memoria, it fell, and I repotted it. I actually, when I am repotting, this is a tip I'm giving you. When you're restarting or repotting something that fell over, it's better to start small. So I lowered the cup size, and this is 600 milliliter coffee cup, and something that did not have any effect whatsoever was my moon shadow. Nothing happened, nothing whatsoever, nothing. No amount of shaking or no fertilizer did nothing. So that's how it would be. Even these were doing really well earlier with or without fertilizer, but they may surprise you. Changes are a lot for plants, just like for us. So, and the biggest suspicion I had was, which I promised to tell you, I had a suspicion of some worker throwing something onto this, right? Because the rate that these were failing were very fast. It surprised me, and one side wasn't affected at all. One side of Hoyas, right, from the former house. I do not know which it was, because it's a bit hazy for me. Too much went on, and I don't know if something was thrown on to some of the Hoyas and some of the orchids, and others did not get affected. But luckily, these are throwing off new shoots, right? And they are trying to grow. It's fine, right? There's a possibility which I might not be able to do a lot of videos in the future, but I will update you whenever I can, and reply your questions with videos whenever you ask me to. So when priorities change, things change. This I started as a hobby, right? And this hobby I was good at. I had something to teach you all. So that's why I started this. But if it's getting too overwhelming when it comes to what's happening with my life, I may have to, tone it down a bit, which I would. That is what the purpose of this video is. So I'll tell you another thing. This is my retusa. If you remember the full specimen I have it potted now, because the wire hanging, it was in, kept falling, and all the roots got broken down, and plants started having root rot and all that, and I couldn't mitigate any of those in time, so I had to let most of it go. So downsizing, uh, when it comes to downsizing, what happened to me matched. But I do not hope or wish for anyone else to go through what I went through, right? So it was very heartbreaking. You guys who have been here with me all throughout know how my specimens thrived. But I am not a person who would dwell in the negative. I keep moving forward. It's all part and parcel of life. So let's see. If I find new stuff, I will definitely tell you. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye. It's getting too noisy, so I'm ending it. Bye.